Major win for UK as AMT signed deals with Singapore to join £8.4 trillion Pacific Free Trade Area. The UK has signed a record-breaking digital trade deal with Singapore, the British Trade Secretary has announced. The agreement takes the nation a step forward in its ambition to join the £8.4 trillion Pacific Free Trade Area. Anne-Marie Trevelyan has secured a digitally focused trade deal with Singapore. The Digital Economy Agreement, DEA, has been described by the government as the world's most comprehensive digital trade deal with the Asian country. It is also the first such pact signed by a European nation. After 6 months of negotiations, it is to bring opportunities for growth to UK firms that wish to target tech-savvy Asian markets. The UK's trading relationship with Singapore was worth £16 billion in 2020. The DEA is set to take this to the next level by paving the way for an expansion of digital trade. Ms. Trevelyan said, "This cutting-edge agreement with Singapore links two of the world's most dynamic high-tech hubs and plays to our strengths as pioneers in digital trade." Negotiated in just 6 months, it is the first digital trade deal ever signed by a European nation and will slash red tape, cut costs and support well-paid jobs across the whole UK. Digital trade is creating a new global economy, but it is still largely governed by old-fashioned rules that predate the digital revolution of the past 20 years. We're using our independent trade policy to strike groundbreaking agreements that update these rules for the digital age and connect UK businesses to the biggest and fastest growing markets in the world. Agreed with Singapore Minister in charge of Trade Relations Iswaran, the DEA is set to amend outdated trade rules for goods and service exports. This is intended to facilitate new business opportunities for UK companies in Singaporean and other Asian markets. While 1/3 of the UK's exports to Singapore are already digitally delivered, with little difference to the finance, advertising and engineering sectors, service companies such as telecoms giants of the likes of BT Group are presented as the big winners of the deal. The agreement is also seen as a significant step towards joining the Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, which would mean access to an £8.4 trillion free trade area for the UK. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss formally started trade negotiations to join the CPTPP in June. In the meantime, the DEA is being portrayed as a gateway to business within the wider Indo-Pacific region. Andy Burwell, CBI Director, International, said, "It's extremely promising to see the UK agree its first ever digital trade deal with Singapore. This deal will help to unlock digital trade and support key industries of the future, driving forward the UK's global competitiveness, jobs and growth. Services will underpin the UK's economic growth and therefore the UK's global Britain ambitions. Enabling digital exports in its broadest sense, and importantly the free flow of data, is integral." Claire Francis, Regional Head, Client Coverage Europe, Standard Chartered, said, "The United Kingdom continues to show its leadership in global trade by becoming the first European country to agree to a digital economy agreement with Singapore. A modern digital trade agreement will help facilitate growth in trade for digital services as well as support digital platforms that make global trade in goods faster, more transparent and secure." Angus Brendan McNeill, Chairman of the International Trade Committee, said, "As a committee, we've called on the government to publish a full strategy for its international trade negotiations, outlining the overarching aims and objectives of the UK's trading approach. Ministers should focus on getting deals right, rather than constantly rushing to move on to the next negotiation. These agreements have positive and negative impacts, and it's only right that the government puts due consideration, time and effort into them." His comments came in response to research by the National Audit Office, NAO, highlighting that even though the UK had successfully led the delivery of a challenging and intense programme of trade negotiations to a tight time frame, it needs to ensure the UK can reap real benefits from these deals. The report, released on Wednesday, warned there was a certain speed and intensity in reaching deals and pointed out the Department for International Trade, DIT, needs to bring together its trade strategy in one place to help to clarify its international ambitions. A DIT spokesperson said, 2022 will be a five-star year for UK trade as we launch new negotiations with India, Mexico, Canada and the Gulf, as well as securing CPTPP accession. We also look forward to seeing the ambitious deals we have agreed with Australia and New Zealand come into force.